Greetings everyone, Absolute Zero here, and I'm playing WWE 2K25. Now, I'd like to discuss, or basically compare, this game to the last game that came out in recent years that, in my eyes, was probably the best game to date, or more recently, basically. And that game would be WWE 2K19. Now, the thing about WWE 2K19 that made it great, and this was before 2K had created a patch that would fix the steel steps glitch, if you know what that was, and also certain things that patch would fix, air quote, although it didn't fix it, it made it worse in my opinion. And that was basically what I'm about to do now, except what I would do is with the steel steps, a ladder instead of a door. So I would be able to just throw it down on there and make a bridge in between the two steel steps like that. Except there'd be more of a gap in between the steel steps. It's harder to do because Dickhead Vader keeps getting up. And he keeps making it harder for me to set this up here, even when I throw him outside, which is one of the disadvantages of this game, is that the enemy just keeps getting up, or the opponents just keep getting up faster and faster. Every single time you knock them down, they won't stay down, they get up, which is one of the most annoying things. But as you can see, I've created a bridge using the door and the two steel steps. Now, this used to be way easier in WWE 2K19 before they created a patch that ruined that, basically. And it used to be way easier than this. I used to be able to do this with a steel, I keep saying steel, but it's a ladder. And I used to just be able to just stand right next to it like I did with the door and place it right there. Now, I'm not able to do that as much. Now it's way harder to do. I have to use a door instead of a ladder. And the whole purpose of it was to be able to throw the opponent on top of it, which I'm about to demonstrate right now, hopefully. And it just used to be a whole lot easier. With this game, it's so much more difficult. Let's see if this works. See, he kind of landed on top of it, not really as much. In WWE 2K19, he would have for sure been right on top of it. And so that's one of the things that makes this game, in my eyes, a little bit worse than 2K19. This game has a lot to offer in terms of content. I'm sure they've added more content to the game, which makes it better than 2K19 in that regard. But as a guy that basically the best part of the game to me is playing the game this way, creating extreme moments, finding new ways to throw enemies on top of, doors and guitars and things like that. I mean, even if you think about the game all the way back in 2K14, something as simple as this, for example, where I'm about to throw them on top of this guitar. The guitar back in the day oops, wrong move. The guitar back in the day would break on contact. Now when I do it, it doesn't do it. It doesn't break on contact. It just stays there. The other problem with this game is, in terms of the environment, is the fact that basically all the objects in the environment slide away on contact. They're not as sturdy as they used to be, which makes it very difficult to place things in a certain way, like I did with the bridge, and to really kind of do anything fun with it. It's kind of annoying because this game has a lot to offer in terms of all the new characters and things like that. Right there, he's kind of staying on top of it, but it's almost like he doesn't really want to. Let's see if I can do a dive on top of him. Oh, actually, that was pretty cool. And now he's right on top of that. See that? That's what I want. That's what I was going for right there. Oh, yes. All right, Vader, get up. Let's see if we can make some more magic here. I think I'm not going to be able to hit it right. No, I missed. But anyway, see, that right there is a perfect situation right there where I was able to get him right on top. And I used to be able to do that in 2K19 super easily, like get him on top of a ladder that's bridged on top of 2 steel steps. It was way easier back then. Now it's just tougher. But this game does offer, as you can see, the opportunities to do so. I just got to find a new way to make it happen like I just did. So maybe the trick to it is to use the door instead of the ladder, which is pretty cool. But I think in terms of how easy it was back then in 2K19 to how hard it is now to create these kinds of moments, you know, it's almost like it's almost a tie, but I want to say 2K19 still does better in that area because I could also do something where I could not bridge, but place 2 ladders on top of each other on the ground, which I'm about to do after I send this to the highlight reel clips. If I can get a good angle of it right here, which is going to be kind of hard to do. I'm not really good with picking the best angle for these kinds of things. Maybe I'm also getting used to the controls as well, which is one other thing about 2K19 in comparison to this game that this game I think kind of ruined, and that's basically the whole changing of the controller schemes. Like, I don't understand why they had to do that. They probably felt as though they wanted to kind of freshen up the game, add something new, like make it feel new. But I think what they ended up doing was they just ended up ruining a controller scheme that didn't need to be changed. It did not need to be changed. And 2, it felt good to play it the other way. Like playing it this way, even after getting used to the controls, it just doesn't feel this. It doesn't feel right. The other way felt way more smoother, in my opinion. So there's that as well. Highlight reel clip. We'll call this even something as simple as this. I have to delete all the letters in here instead of being able to just press square or just immediately put in a name and it goes in. Gotta delete it all one by one, which is annoying. But anyway. So there's that. I've kind of figured that part out. So I'm kind of happy about that. Now I'm going to try and take 2 ladders here. Sit the fuck down, buddy. See, now, even back in 2K18, matter of fact, I used to be able to, through the steel step glitch, make it so that the steel steps were interactable. But now look at that. He just phases right through it. You know? Like, why can't they just make the steel steps solid? It's not that hard to do. It wouldn't ruin the game. It'd add more to the game. But they just... 2K keeps doing things like this. They keep making things worse and worse in terms of interacting with the environment. All for the sake of giving people, more, GM content or some shit like that. More to the universe mode. And it's like... Come on, man. Focus on the core gameplay. That's what makes the games, all the previous games, fun. That's what made Here Comes the Pain fun. Was obviously it had GM mode, I think, or whatever. It had other pieces of the content that made it fun. But at the end of the day, the gameplay was so much fun, and the environment was so interactable that it just made the game stand out. It made it legendary. Versus this game... Everything is barely interactable. Just barely. Like, it barely passes as interactable. And that's the thing. That is just... It kind of bothers me, Like, I want this game to be great, but in order for it to be great, it needs to do what all the other games did that made them great. And then some. I keep clicking the wrong... doing the wrong move here. I didn't want to do the Emerald Flosion. I don't know if I'll be able to make it, though. From here. Let's see. Oh, there you go. I mean, he kind of landed on top of it, but then the steel step still slid away, which just proves my point. Like, everything just slides away when it shouldn't. It should stay in place, which is really annoying. And it makes it very difficult to do things like that. So hopefully, maybe, who knows, maybe in the next few updates, they'll smarten up and they'll make things a lot better. Another annoying thing, I think the one thing this game does, I think the worst, is not only do the enemies get up so quickly, but they can easily... Like, if I go for a grappling move and I am the first one to initiate that move, let's say Vader decides to do grapple, you know, midway in between that, he can easily grab me before I'm even midway through grabbing him, if that makes any sense, which is the most annoying thing. Oh, that was sick. I'm definitely saving that. I wonder if that makes it so the steel steps are interactable now, if you put something on top of it. Interesting. That is very interesting. We'll have to see. I'll have to test that out later. Play. Oh yeah, take that, Vader, you bitch. All right. Do another highlight reel clip for Gunther. I think that's pretty much, in general, all there is to it. I'm more of a gameplay kind of guy, like a core gameplay kind of guy, so that's kind of like where this game hurts me a little bit the most, but there are certain things that they've made it where it kind of replaces all of that. Like, one major thing I definitely realize is you can actually slam people onto the tables without having to do a finisher necessarily. Let's see if I can do it here. No, I missed. Let's see how I can make this happen. What does Gunther have for the left carry move? Oh, I missed. I guess I'm just gonna have to go with a power bomb, right? Fuck it, carry power bomb. So easy, just to show it off. I don't know if anyone noticed this, but you can do this. So sick. I love that part. Like, there are certain parts of this game that they definitely did gameplay-wise that 19 just doesn't have, which is cool. But only issue is I can't follow up from here. I have to wait for him to get up. And I can't do like a signature or anything, so it sucks in that regard. And then all I can do is DDT him onto the table, so that part sucks. I mean, all the way back into Here Comes the Pain, you were able to do moves on top of the table. Any move you can think of that you could do on, like, standing in front of the opponent, you could do on the table, which was nice. But not so much anymore. But either way, slamming them onto the table is pretty cool, so I'll take that as a win. And I think that's pretty much all I really wanted to talk about was that. So I'll definitely try and make some edits for this game, which is going to be fun, see what I can come up with, and stay tuned for that, guys. It's going to be cool. Until next time.